Hi, and welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I'm the Executive Director of the National Street Food Vendors Association, which is a nonprofit dedicated to education, advocacy, and uplifting all food vendors. Today is part 2 of my interview with Alan Bledsoe. He's a barbecue guy, started out in a tent, and he's been sharing his story with us. But before we get into the second part of the interview, I want to remind you guys I'm going to be in Edison, New Jersey on December 2nd and 3rd as a part of the Food Truck Owners Expo. I'm going to be giving 2 classes. I'm going to be kicking off the campfire sessions. I'm going to be out on the main expo floor in my National Street Food Vendors Association booth where you can come join us. Sit down, ask me some questions. You can share your success stories and you can network with a whole bunch of other amazing food truck owners. Again, Edison, New Jersey, December 2nd and 3rd of 2025. Go to FTOexpo.com. Place your order for the tickets today. When you do, put in the code FTTG15 for a 15% discount. So now to part 2 of my interview with Alan Bledsoe. So walk me through. You've been super busy at that one event and you realize that, hey, this can work. How did you go from that feeling to finding that trailer?
So the trailers, we started looking, and it was supposed to be more of a 2-year plan type deal. We were going to
Okay.
do the tent between me and my wife. We were discussing it, and it was supposed to be we're not going to be able to do any events through the wintertime because nobody really does events in the wintertime, at least where we're at. Our only option was to either close down for the winter or go all in and get the trailer and try to start selling immediately. I believe I've told you how my schedule was, but others may not know. I was working at a factory and on a swing schedule at that on nights. So my schedule was so sporadic. We could only open one, maybe 2 days a week here and there. So we got through the winter like that. And then once the weather started getting better, schedules started getting a little more consistent. We could, like this week, we would open Tuesday and Saturday, and then next week it would just be Thursday. And we did that schedule for several months up until just yesterday was our first official full-time day. That's what we're calling August 6th, our first official full-time startup day.
So what does the schedule look like now? So you started on a Wednesday and you said you're open
Yeah,
today.
yeah. So right now we do our schedule is Tuesday through Saturday. That will be our schedule. Saturdays are almost always events. We've got tons of events booked for the rest of the year, or we've got weddings that we've already got booked. And then Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, we stay at our normal location here in McMinnville. We get to set up at the Lowe's here in town, kind of on a technicality because I don't know. A lot of people try to set up at Lowe's, but they have that new food truck program where they charge you. They told me $150 a day. I'm not sure if that's the accurate number now, but that's what I was told. So I said, no, thank you. Um, I appreciate it. Our Lowe's shares a parking lot with a strip mall. So, like, the first 3 rows of parking belong to the strip mall, and then the rest belongs to Lowe's. So, as long as I park in the first 3 rows, I have permission to be there. So that works out because Lowe's is a very, very busy place.
Oh, for sure. And then the type of food you're selling is going to appeal to the people that would be going to Lowe's.
Exactly.
How did you come about that particular location? Because I'm sure there's other businesses there in town as well. So what made you choose
Well,
the Lowe's over another place?
well, that's actually one of the reasons why I went to Lowe's was because one of another popular food truck, they used to set up in Lowe's, and then out of nowhere they stopped. And I'm guessing it's because of Lowe's food
Right.
truck program. I just went, this was actually before I ever bought my trailer. This was before that other food truck stopped setting up at Lowe's. I called our Lowe's and I spoke to the store manager, and they informed me. They were like, yeah, you just call up here and let us know what days you want to set up. We'll tell you where to park. I actually called maybe a week after I got my trailer and went, hey guys, where do you want me to park? And they said, well, I have to email corporate and all this and that. And I ended up talking to, there's a Dollar General in that strip mall. I ended up talking to the Dollar General, manager, and they gave me permission to set up there. So I knew it would be a very good spot. There's a guy that actually he does mostly breakfast, and he sets up in the same location. We kind of share the aisles there. He says he does great for his breakfast hours. He stays a little bit into lunch. He stays through a lunch rush about 2 o'clock. Honestly, I'm not sure of his lunch menu. I've meant to go by there and check it out sometimes, but he comes by and we talk every once in a while. He's a good guy, and I don't mind parking right there beside him, and it gets us both, some business. It's worked out very, very well because before Lowe's, I was setting up in an empty lot right in front of a collision place. I called the collision people and they were like, "We don't own that lot." And I said, "Do you know who does?" And no, nobody knew who owned it. And I looked it up in the public records, and it literally just said it belonged to the highway that it's on. I sat up there for quite a while, maybe a month and a half. I'd set up there, no issues. The collision people loved it. They come get lunch every day, but eventually I had to go where there was no foot traffic there. Yeah, I made the better decision by moving to the other location.
You always got to be looking for the next location anyway. 'Cause you just never know what's
Yeah.
going to happen. They could start road construction out in front of the Lowe's, and there goes all your business for a while. How
Yep.
big of city are you in, just so people can kind of do a comparison to their own city?
So our population, I believe in 2024 was just under 14,000.
Okay, so
It's
a
not
relatively small city then.
right now, it just reached over 14,000. So yeah,
So,
it's a relatively small.
all right, give me kind of a feel of you got a Lowe's. What other, I guess, shopping attractions would you have? You mentioned the Dollar General. I mean, every city in
Yes.
the world has about 10 Dollar Generals. So,
Yeah. So
besides those, what do you got?
let's see. Right beside there's the strip mall consists of the Dollar General, and then beside it is a Chinese restaurant. And then beside it is a Great Clips, and then a Verizon, and then a Goodwill. And that's that strip mall. But then also kind of it's located in front of the Lowe's and the shopping strip mall is we have a Taco Bell on the corner right there, and then Applebee's. Actually, one of the best place. The repeat customers tend to come from Aspen Dental, is what it is. It's a dentist office that's right behind where I park. We get a lot of repeat customers from there.
So the area that you're describing, is that the most popular area in your town as far as shopping goes and where people would spend most of their day?
It is 100% the most popular light. Like it's on the corner of a intersection, and it is the busiest intersection in our town.
That kind of puts it all in perspective for people that are searching. I was just going to ask, you mentioned Lowe's and getting set up there and then having that $150 a day. I know that Lowe's and Home Depot and Walmart, all of those, are not going to be consistent across the country. And they should be, but they're not. Sometimes you can go in and talk to the local manager and they will just assume they have the authority and say, yeah, go ahead, park. And then they find out from their boss that they don't have that authority. That
Exactly. Yeah.
kind of sounds like what you went through.
Kind of. I think the lady that told me I could set up, I do believe she was in management, but definitely not upper management. So yeah, that definitely could have happened. I went back after I'd been told that I had to go through corporate to set up. I was actually in Lowe's one day just shopping, and I ran into a woman that I believed was in management. She had on a name tag, but very professional clothes.
Right.
So I asked her if the store manager was there, and she said, "I can help you." And turned out she was the store manager, which she didn't tell me until, I had to
Right.
find out later. But yeah, so I finally did talk to the store manager, and she was the one that told me that the first few rows of parking belonged to Dollar General, which is why the breakfast guy was able to set up over there. So she helped me out in the end.
Well, that's good. That's good. It sounds like it's a little bit better anyway, because I'm
Yeah,
sure you're probably more visible to people that are pulling in.
very, very. Plus, I made my trailer stand out.
All right, so we'll conclude the interview here. There's one more segment you'll get to listen to tomorrow, and this one is going to be all about how he made his trailer stand out. Thank you guys so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you're finding everything that we do helpful, please consider subscribing. If you love what we do, show some support. There's a link in the description to make that happen. Until next time, you guys have a profitable day.